What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. So sorry that I haven't been posting a lot, but these couple weeks it actually gave me a lot of time to sit down and think about my career, think about what's gonna happen next. A lot of people has been asking me, how did I learn my magic? How did I build my career? There's one person that is so important in my life, and that is my mentor. His name is Vinh. He's about to go back to Australia really soon for good, and he moved to Los Angeles for 3 years, and this is probably the first time and the last time I'll be able to shoot with him in America. But I've never shot with him before. I never showed anyone that he's my mentor, but he completely changed my life. So today I'm so honored, and it's really my pleasure to have Vinh in my car sitting here and be able to talk to you guys and just how we connected, how he became my mentor. So if you're curious, please stay to the end of this video, and if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And here's Vinh.
Woo! Whoa, the power of video editing.
Yep. Well everyone, this is Vinh Giang, and thank you so much for hopping into my car. You're the very first person to shoot in this car with me, but it's truly my honor and my pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, I was telling the viewer that this is the first time, and it's probably the last time that we'll be able to shoot together in America, right?
Absolutely, man. I'm gonna miss you, brother.
Yeah, that makes me want to cry.
Don't cry already.
Yeah,
don't cry already.
But
that's crazy.
Talk about crying. The very first time that we met, I actually cried.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. It was your first magic show. And it was when I first moved to LA. It was, yeah, man. It was amazing. Just seeing you perform on stage, and yeah, man, it was crazy that you actually cried. It made me feel like I was like, what? Yeah, but it was beautiful, man. So
talk about before we actually met.
Okay.
So I saw Vinh on a channel called 52 Cards, and that was when you were just hopping on and you started to be a teacher.
Yeah.
On that channel,
teaching magic tricks. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what really gravitated me was that you're a magician.
Yep.
At the same time, you're a speaker.
Okay.
But it's his voice, right? Like, just look at him, and then how he talks. The first time, it didn't really match up. Like, you're not gonna think that he has this voice.
It's because the Australian and then the Asian, it shocks people.
Right.
It shocks people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Blonde Asian with kind of like British Australian accent mixed together with a really low, deep voice. It's like I never heard anyone that has.
It's gotten higher since I've had children.
And louder too.
The frustration, louder and higher. Oh, it's crazy. Man. But yeah, that was where you first came across, and I remember you sending me emails.
I sent you a long ass email, like an essay, like a paragraph.
Oh my god, I probably could find that email.
That
would be interesting. That would be interesting.
You didn't delete it? Is this it?
Wow. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a whole chain.
Oh my goodness.
It's June 13th.
June 13th.
There you go. There you go. Oh, look at your old logo. Oh my god. Look at Jenny's old logo. We gotta block our faces so the camera doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's hilarious. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, I feel so embarrassed.
You didn't even use a PNG file. You used like a...
Wait!
Not even a PNG file.
I did not use a PNG, but that's hilarious. Who has the background is black?
Yeah, no, yeah. We were still in 2016 at the time.
But I wrote...
Dude, that's crazy.
I wrote 3 paragraphs, but...
Oh, and you watched the video on Recalibrate and stuff as well? Wow.
So basically, I stalked Vinh to the max.
Crazy.
So he has a YouTube channel. I'll link it down below, and you can see a lot of his past videos that inspire a lot of people. And I basically stalked him to the max. That every single one of his video, I've watched it more than 5 times, probably.
That's crazy.
I just rewatched your Recalibrate video after the podcast because my wife came in and she's like, "What's Vinh talking about?" And then I'm like, "Oh, let me show you what he does."
Oh.
But I took up the courage to email Vinh. I found his email, of course, and I emailed him. But when he replied, I was so shocked. And I remember you had an assistant named Andrea.
Yeah, in Australia.
You still use her?
No.
Yeah. So, and then she replied like, "Oh, like Vinh would like to schedule a quick Skype session or something."
Yeah, I actually remember our call. Did we recorded that too, I think.
I don't think we recorded that.
Oh, okay.
But if you ask Alicia, my wife, she can definitely tell you that I couldn't sleep for like at least 1 to 2 days.
Far out, Johnny.
Did I tell you these before?
No, you didn't.
Oh, then
That's insane.
I probably had dreams of us hanging out in person at least 6-7 times.
Wow.
I'm like, wait a second, I just dreamed Vin was in my dream, and then we were just chatting like friends in person.
Wow.
So yeah, we chatted, and I was so excited, truly, and I learned so much from every single one of his videos. So I also stalked him on his Facebook Live.
Right.
Like, you're doing a lot of Facebook Live session.
Yeah.
And when you announced that you're moving to Los Angeles, I was like, no way.
Yeah.
That's where I am. So I remember you were looking for a place, and when I go to different places to perform, I'd be like, hey, this area is pretty cool. And I'm like, check this place out.
Yeah, before I moved, I had a lot of conversations with you about where I should live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I told Vin that I have a show coming up. Definitely welcome to bring you and your wife. Was Xander born?
Yeah, he was born.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
To come and watch my show. So his wife has to take care of the baby, so then he sit at the very front row on the very left. I still have a picture of that. And right after the show, that was my very, very first ticket selling show. I was so nervous. There was like some tech issue.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, but right after that, everybody left and he was there. And I was like, what? That's crazy.
Well, it's just crazy that we lead such similar lives on the other side of the planet, and somehow we had a moment where we got to meet.
Yeah.
I think that's just crazy. It's just the serendipity of it all.
Yeah.
Was just incredible.
So I'm trying to like relive that moment back then. It makes me want to cry because it's like meeting your hero.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can tell how similar we look.
Yeah.
Well, I basically kind of got inspired by by all his look.
And I'm transitioning out of the blonde hair.
Right.
And Johnny's transitioning in, so he's taking the throne.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe when he goes back to Australia, he becomes bald, and then I'll be bald now. You're like, what happened to your hair? Oh, there you go. That's what happened to it.
But that's how we kind of met. I think it was so special in that. Yeah, again, I just think it's so crazy that two people, like, magic is something that not a lot of people get into, and not a lot of people get into seriously as we do. And then for us to be able to meet and be in the same city and now become friends, I think, yeah, that's amazing.
I did not think that it's gonna get to that kind of deeper level where our families are really close now.
Our wives love each other, and our kids love hanging out to each other, and we met before you even had a child. Yeah.
That first show was where I announced that my wife was pregnant. Like, no friends know about it, no family member knew about it. And then now they're playing together in your house. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
Wow.
Well, I think what it really shows is that no matter who you admire, and I'm not as amazing as you make me out to be, but thanks,
oh,
Johnny.
no, you are, man.
But I think no matter who you admire, don't think it's always out of reach. Don't think it's impossible. Don't think it's impossible to meet this person or that person and become friends with them. I think you developed yourself into such a great person that when I met you, man, I wanted to hang out with you straight away.
Wow, thank you.
So I think a huge part of it is we have to be kinder to ourselves.
Right.
And not to be so, oh, that person would never want to hang out with me. Man, I'm glad you reached out. Now I have such a awesome friend that lives on this side of the world. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I think it just goes to show and prove that point.
Let's have you talk about this, because you believe the idea of having the top 5 people completely changing like your perspective, your beliefs, and everything. So it's basically, he's very big on finding mentors. Yeah. And it's his talk on finding mentors. I want him to be my mentor, right? So maybe can you talk about that? Because I think a lot of people have no idea on what they want to do now with the world like this.
Well, look, I'm definitely no expert in this area to be able to give advice on people how to find careers or anything. But what I can say is you just have to, one of the biggest things I talk about when I'm on stage is you're the direct reflection of the top 5 people you spend time with, right? So I'm pretty sure I've influenced you quite a bit since we've met. And you've influenced me as well. What? So when you choose to have people in your circle they are going to influence you. Like the classic example is,
Right.
I was thinking of buying a petrol car, right?
Okay.
Johnny loves his Teslas. he stayed over at my house last night. He slept over.
Yeah.
And he started talking to me about how amazing Tesla was. This is like a classic example of influence.
That's true.
We got in the car just now. You're like, hey, look at this camera option. Look at this thing. And now I want a Tesla instead of buying a normal petrol car, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was just you staying over my house for the last 24 hours.
Right.
You've definitely influenced me dramatically over the last 3 years of us being friends. So, when you're trying to discover what you're going to do next in this period of chaos and uncertainty, if you're spending time with people who are freaking out, being negative and, you know, giving up and then being lazy and then just not doing anything, that's going to influence you.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, during this period, the best thing you can do is spend time with people who are exploring new things, trying different career paths, experimenting to innovate with their own current career path. If you spend time with those people, you'll feel motivated to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Same with me, I'm a speaker right now. Speakers all over the industry, so many of them are giving up.
Right.
They're thinking, oh, if we can't meet in person to have speaking events anymore, I'm out. Whereas I'm spending time with speakers who are innovating. Like
Right.
you're doing virtual magic shows, dude. Whereas I know so many other magicians who are like, oh, this is over. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Who you spend time with right now is so important. If you don't spend time with people who are innovating, people who are staying positive, people who are experimenting, people who are exploring, then you might just choose to not do anything.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that inaction in itself is still action. Doing nothing is still doing something.
Right.
But it's the worst thing you could do.
True.
So to me, it's have an open mind. And find someone who makes you feel good and inspires you. Spend time with them, like what we're doing.
Right.
We inspire each other, so we hang out more. And the more we hang out, the better we feel.
Right.
The better we feel, the more likely we are to achieve what we want. So please, I think to anyone who's watching now is be so careful with who you spend time with.
Right.
I don't let anybody into my circle anymore in my life who's negative. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't
I
have
know.
time. I've got a son now. You've got a daughter now. It's not only my emotions I'm protecting, it's my family.
Exactly.
Because if you spend time with a negative person, when you go home, how are you to your child? How are you to your wife?
Right.
I'm so scared of that now. Yeah, so...
For sure. I know you're super protective of your circle. Oh, that's mine.
Oh, that's yours. Okay. Yeah.
It's okay. We're sure.
No, I don't want Johnny germs. No.
I don't have coronavirus, although we're all Asian. We don't have that.
All right.
Now, there's so many things that you inspired me. Like, as you can tell, he's full of energy all the time. Like, all the time. And I wanted to stay at his house to see, like, is that true? Like, how can someone have energy all the time?
Drugs.
Well, your wife is a pharmacist.
My wife is a pharmacist, yeah. That's,
Right.
that's the joke we always play with. But no.
But it's not only your energy, but it is your level of commitment in anything. Like anything you set your mind to do,
Yeah.
he puts in 150%. Like I've never seen anyone does this before. And his level of wanting to learn, like he's always listening to audiobooks, he's always reading a new book. It's crazy. Like I don't know the other people that says like, oh, you should read a book a day. I don't know about them, but
I can't read a book a day,
Right.
but,
But
I read a chapter a day.
How many books have you read so far?
In my life?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. I don't think the number of books
Right.
is don't look at the number of books you've read as a trophy. I don't think that's a good idea. Because the number of books you've read if you could have read 10,000 books, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
What books have you read? I think that matters more. So you may have, like in your life, you may only choose to read 30 books, but if you choose the right 30 books and you read them over and over again, you're probably better off than someone who's read 1,000 books.
Right.
So to me, don't think about the number of books as a trophy. It's just more so, what books have you read that hasn't been impactful?
Right.
And I think that's more important. Because I think on social media, there's so many people who will post the picture that, oh, look what I'm reading this month. And, it's just about the volume. I don't think that's the goal.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more about what troubles are you having?
Mm-hmm.
What books do you need to solve those problems?
Right.
books to me, it's medicine for your mind, it's medicine for your business, it's medicine for your life.
Right.
So when you get sick, you take medicine. So when you feel crap, maybe we need to read a few books on how to be more positive.
Right.
You sound full of energy, right? So I've read books on like nutrition. I've read books on the importance of exercise. When I didn't exercise as much as I do now, my energy wasn't as good.
Right.
But when you exercise more, you feel better. When you're happier, you've got a positive mind, you feel better, you've got more energy.
Right.
So I think it's, just to be clear on that, because I think a lot of people who follow influencers, I think the danger of it is, I'm just going to read what they read.
Right.
But the books they're reading are solving problems in their life.
That's why you stopped giving out your book list.
I have, and I still get so many emails about that post I did like 3 years ago.
Right.
But I just do an automated reply now. Because people used to ask me for my book list, and for those of you who don't know, people used to go, oh wow, can you share with me your list? But then if I share with you my list, it's going to teach you how to become a better teacher. Yeah. It's going to teach you how to become a better communication expert. It's going to teach you how to become, you know, a keynote speaker. That might not be what you want to do. Right. Yeah. So I think that's, first of all, the mindset is, it's not about the number of books. It's about which ones.
Which ones to read that you really, really need.
I think so. Yeah.
And that's a really cool concept, because usually when people think about, oh, I have a problem I need to solve, you don't think about going straight to books.
You don't.
Right? You think about like asking your friends and things like that.
And then we often ask the wrong friend.
Yeah.
Because we tend to ask, when we're younger, I'm assuming this is a younger audience, but when I was younger, anytime I had a problem, I think the richest person in my circle has the answer. I default think that. I go, oh, it must be the richest person that has the answer. Right. It's not true. Right. It's not true. Because the richest person I knew was a property investor. And going to that person to ask them about advice for online business, and because people who are successful love to give advice, and you've got to be super careful about that. Right. He gave me advice that was wrong. It was terrible advice. So to me, don't be lazy. When you have a problem in your own life, in your own business, in your own family, solve the problem yourself. Google is your best friend. Any problem you have, Google it and write book recommendations. So if it's, you want to get fit and healthy, top fitness books, top fitness recommended books. Right. You want to improve lead generation for your business, lead generation online for dummies. Like, search it, and then go through the ranking, pick the top one, and take the medicine. Right. Man. We just want really fast solutions. Right. I'm a victim of that too, but I've learnt to resist that. I've just learnt to resist that. I still remember you say slow growth is still growth. Yep. Slow progress is still progress. Yeah. Same thing. Yep. Maybe but we don't value slow growth, because we see all these people on, you know, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, and they will drive a Lamborghini or Ferrari, and then we think they achieved that overnight. Right. And when we think that they achieved that overnight, the only thing we value now, because social media is your subconscious, like this thing has become your subconscious. Yeah. When you're scrolling through Instagram, whatever you see on that becomes your subconscious mind. And in your subconscious mind, you're being fed all the time that, oh, I can just start a YouTube channel and I'll live in a mansion and you know, live it. Yeah. And then when you meet reality and it takes a lot longer than that, you get discouraged. For sure, man. For sure. But it's not real. Well, that's why you got to find someone that you can actually see is doing this in real time, real life. Yeah, and just be careful who you, again, just to circle back to what we said in the beginning, just be really careful who you bring into your inner circle, your top 5, top 10, whatever number it is. Right. Because they will influence your car choice. They'll influence I mean, look at you. You love eating steak nowadays. You want to get your own barbecue, right? And you want that. Why? Because you've come to my house. He's a barbecue master. Not master. I'm pretty good at it. He's really good at it. Best steak ever, man. But that's the thing. See how I'm influencing you. Yeah. And these are just quick examples in our lives right now. It goes so much deeper than that. It goes deep to the point of your values and beliefs. To the point where you will believe certain things are possible because you spend time with me. Right. You will believe some things are not possible because you spend time with me. So you've got to be so careful, because they determine more than your taste in cars and food. Right, for sure. They dictate what you believe is possible. Even how you teach your kids. Yeah, yeah. And then your kids will become different because of the people that you have your kids, you know, exposed to. That's right. That's why I'm so careful now. Whereas, you know, I used to be inspired by a lot of people on social media too, but some of them I've stopped following because it's made me a worse dad. Because some of the people I followed, you know, it's about the hustle. It's about working all the time. It's about, you know, I work 17 hours a day and I sleep 3, and and it's like, I used to think that was really cool, and it's okay if you still think that's really cool. It's just for me as a father and a husband, when I think that's really cool, makes me a great entrepreneur. Makes me a horrible husband. Makes me a horrible father. Makes me a horrible friend. Now, how many times did you want to catch up and I'm always busy?
You're always busy.
I'm always busy, right? So it took the coronavirus to slow me down and make me reevaluate even the people I follow on social media. They're not in my physical top 5, but even my social media top 5. I've unfollowed so many people because following them and having them as my subconscious just wasn't good for my mental health and just my happiness.
For sure. And
you know, it's,
wow. And for the people that does not know Vin's achievement, that he moved from Australia to America, and in 3 years, he's probably one of the most influential magician keynote speaker. And he's spoken for like LinkedIn, Facebook, Microsoft, Google as well. So he's really one of the top right there. And that was my goal when I first reached out to him, was because I really wanted to become a keynote speaker as well. Before coronavirus, it was this year's January, I got a call, or was it a call or a message from Vin saying that he's deciding to let all of that go because he doesn't find happiness in that career anymore. And he wants to, he's thinking to like go back to Australia, and the past 3 years, whatever he built up, he's willing to give it up. And that blew my mind. Right? When I received that, I was sitting right next to the ocean eating with my big family. I was like, hold on, honey, like I have to, what am I seeing? And that's insane, because you've built up like a multi-million-dollar speaker career in 3 years. That's so fast, and then you're willing to let it go.
Well, I mean, remember, I had a speaking career in Australia too, and I'd been doing it in Australia for 3 years too. So really, it took 6 years.
6 years, okay.
Yeah, it did take 6 years. Again, I just don't want to paint the picture of so fast, because it's not fast. It's slow. It's so slow.
It's a lot of hard work for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work, and it was 6 years of it, you know. But yeah, why were you so surprised?
I was surprised that...
Oh, as in the willingness to give it up.
Willingness to give it up. I mean, I understand, because we have to talk that, like, happiness, right? And we only have very limited time for us to be in this world.
I think every time I hung out with you, you always reminded me of the importance of, you know, being home and being with your family. Because I think as much as you wanted to be a speaker, the more you got to know me, the more you went, oh, I don't know if I want to be a speaker. Well, because, and for context for the audience, is that I'm on the plane, I travel, I go on about 160, 170 flights a year. And that's how much I travel. I spend over $100,000 a year on flights. And in the beginning, it was exciting. Because in the beginning, you're like, wow, look at me, I'm always in the plane, I'm staying in nice hotels. But it just got bland, and it became quite sad after a while, because the more successful I became as a speaker, the more I was away from my family. And every time we got to hang out, you reminded me what I was missing out. I was missing out seeing my little boy grow up. You know, I was missing out being in his life, and I had to reevaluate my life. And thanks to like people like you, Johnny, where you got a much better balance than I did. That you reminded me, hey man, you know, don't forget family, don't forget this is not just all about career. And you're definitely a contributing factor to helping me turn around. You know, to turn around, because last year was my most successful year as a speaker. Right. And it was my most unhappy year.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird, right? You feel like you've spent 6 years to try to climb to the top of this mountain. And this mountain is so hard to climb, Johnny. Something I don't speak about often is that being Asian and trying to climb the corporate speaking ladder is very hard. Because it's predominantly a white male, it's a Caucasian dominated space.
Yeah.
So for a guy like me who doesn't have a degree, blonde hair, magician,
Right.
and being Asian,
Right.
it was so hard to climb. Because think about how many Asian speakers do you see? I mean,
Yeah.
I've been in the speaking industry now in the US for 3 years, and I can count on one hand the number of Asian speakers I know, right?
Plus the good ones.
Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
they just don't, it's just, yeah, so it's crazy. So just to give you a sense of, the reason I'm telling you that is give you a sense of how hard this mountain has been to climb. So when you climb this mountain, you get to the top, and then you make the realization that, shit, I've climbed the wrong mountain. You
Man.
you feel sick, man.
Yeah.
Because you're like, so I did all of that just to realize I don't want it? Did I waste my time? Did I waste my family's time? And so it was such a confusing year for me last year because I got to the top, it felt great, and I was just so confused because inside I felt sad, I felt down, I missed my friends, I missed my family, and in a way I felt very empty. And yeah, if it wasn't for my wife, it wasn't for you, it wasn't for my friends back in Australia, I don't know how I would have got out of that.
Right.
It was such a, I never knew that the more success you want, the more you had to sacrifice, right?
Right.
So I sacrificed too much. And now I've learned, we talked about it today over barbecue, I've learned to, I don't want that much success anymore. I don't have to make $10 million a year. I don't have to have a Ferrari. I don't care about any of that anymore. Now I care about, I want to be able to have a barbecue with you. I want to spend a whole day with you, the whole weekend. You guys sleep over. I want to hang out. I want to like play games together. Like we played games together last night.
Yeah.
I don't, what I used to care about, I no longer care about. And the lesson I took away from that was that we are going to climb the wrong mountains in our lives. We're going to.
Right.
It's, no one knows exactly what to do every single day.
Right.
And I've learned to accept that that's okay. Just when you climb to the top of the mountain, you realize it's the wrong one. Don't keep climbing.
Right.
Climb down.
Yeah.
As painful as it is. Because, Johnny, it's painful.
It was shocking to hear that you want to climb down.
Well, the thing is, my first paid speech, right, was $400.
Right.
And I built the business up to the point where I get paid $30,000 to $40,000 a talk now, right? So I grew it from
insane.
400 to 40,000, 30,000, right? So that hopefully gives an indication of how high I climbed. And then climbing down, every step was hard. It was hard, but I felt good. And that's how I knew it was right.
Right.
In accounting, they have a thing they call sunk cost fallacy. And that's when people say, oh, but I've already spent 5 years doing this.
Right.
I should keep doing it.
Right.
That's the wrong way to think. Because if you've already wasted 5 years, why waste another 5 years?
Right.
You should get out. You know,
For sure.
Yeah, so it's, look, man, it's...
So after that, since you felt so unhappy,
Yeah.
you decided to walk down the mountain. Do you feel like you have found the happiness that you're looking for? Maybe some of that now. And
Oh, definitely, man.
like,
Definitely.
what was that process, that transition look like, and to your family as well? Because I hardly saw you last year.
Yeah. Well, that's because it was the most successful year of
Yeah.
my life, professionally, but personally, I failed terribly. So
Man.
it's the
You
climb.
let me know. I didn't know you were that unhappy until
Well-
Paywan told us.
Well, I didn't know I was either, Johnny. I was so confused because can you see how I was confused though? It didn't make sense.
I know.
It's like I just couldn't understand. I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? Do you know? I was saying to myself, I go, Vin, do you know how many people want this career?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people do you know how people
for
would,
sure.
would kill?
They would
How
sacrifice everything.
How are you so ungrateful? So I blame myself a lot. The only reason I understood was because this is a dear friend of mine named Ali Tarai. You saw me talking to him the other day.
Yeah.
And he called me and then he heard my voice and he was like, what's wrong, dude? I was like, man, I don't know. And he goes, oh, this sounds bad. From the sound of my voice.
You never sound like that.
Yeah, and then he said, Okay, man, I'm going to talk to my wife. I'll come over. I'll fly over this week.
Oh, wow.
He flew over for 2 weeks. This was when Pei Wen and Xander were in Malaysia.
Oh, yeah.
That was that period, right? So he goes, I'm coming over. I'm gonna spend time with you. He spent 2 weeks with me. And I didn't even know what was going on. I just felt emotional. I don't know why.
Right.
It's like the first time in my life I think I ever felt really depressed. And he walked me through it. He talked me through it. He walked me through it. And he saved my happiness, man. He saved...
Wow.
He saved a huge part. He saved me from making more mistakes. And the big lesson from it was, I have many values in my life, as you've got many values in your life. We've got the value of family. We've got the value of doing something we love.
Right.
We've got the value of trying to contribute to our community, try to give to our parents, try to give to our country. We've got the value of wealth creation. You and I share that. We want to create wealth. We want to create abundance.
Right.
We want to have beautiful things for our family to enjoy. I have so many values, but the only value that I was thinking about was making money, was wealth creation. And then I was lying to myself, saying, yes, I do value family. Yes, I do value my friends. Yes, I do value contribution. But the only thing my actions were proving was that I cared about making money.
The business.
The business.
Yeah.
And again, when I reflect on it, it's because of the people I was following on social media. It's because the people that I saw as mentors, they valued making money.
Right.
So when my subconscious, my social media feed, when my top 5, all that what they cared about was making money,
Right.
it made me care about that. So I think of it like this. I've got 5 buckets in my life.
Right.
And these buckets need water in them for me to feel happy. Out of the 5 buckets, I was only filling 1 bucket. And the other 4 buckets were dry.
Right.
And that's where so much of my unhappiness came from. So then the moment I started spending more time with family, more time with you, more time with, like Lenny, you saw me yesterday, I talked to my best friend on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm filling my other buckets.
Right.
And now I feel, oh man, just night and day to where I was 6 months ago.
For sure. For sure.
So it's, oh man, it's, you think you would have everything worked out by the time you're in your mid-30s.
Right.
But you don't. You don't, man. You realize that, holy crap, you're just making it up the entire time as you go.
Right.
Oh, it's crazy.
And he's the perfect example, because like you switch your apartment 3 times in 3 years, and now you're moving back to Australia this year. So you move like, Payman told me you moved like more than 10 times in the last 10 years or so. Like,
oh, I think maybe 7, but nearly 10.
That's insane, man. That's insane. But
well,
are you trying to find a place where?
No. I think we moved in Australia for different reasons. I mean, in Australia, the first few times we moved was because I was $500,000 in debt, and I had to live with. So Pei Wen and I had our own place. My wife is Pei Wen, and we had our own place. I was in a lot of debt, and then we had to move into my parents' garage.
Right.
So we moved into my parents' garage for 2 years. The business became very successful. Then I took the money and bought my mum and dad like a beautiful home that we were living together. Then we moved again.
Right.
Then we moved to America in the first home, which was LA. And then
the penthouse.
Yeah. But in the first 2 weeks of being there, I just realized, oh man, this feels really. It just felt dangerous living downtown LA.
Oh yeah.
With a baby boy, 2 months old. So then we moved out to the OC. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I did move a lot.
Wow. But it's watching it from a third person like perspective point of view is that, well, with all the things that you've done, although you've climbed the round mountain,
right?
But it's his willpower and like his dedication and his commitment and everything that he does. It makes you so successful. And you're not only a speaker, you're also a communication teacher.
Yeah.
And Vin, when I first met him, he has his keynote, which is extremely inspiring. But afterwards, you found the communication part is what you're really, really passionate about.
Yeah.
Right? And then he has a workshop, which I've been to like 2-3 times already. And it influenced me so much to the point that I named my daughter Harmony because that's like our life goal is to be able to harmonize with everyone
Other people,
in your
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Right? So it's amazing that although you stepped out as a speaker for keynote speaking, but you can still do virtual coaching, virtual workshop, teaching communication skills. So my audience is pretty young, and we don't teach communication at school.
Yeah.
Right? They just kind of let you go and figure it out. That's why there's so many bullying. There's so many like misunderstanding. Parents cannot communicate with their kids. Kids don't know how to talk to their parents. So maybe you can kind of talk about that a little bit for everyone to kind of at least have an idea of what communication is, a skill that's so important that you can learn, right? That will really help you with your life.
Well, I mean, to give you all context, is that I never used to be able to communicate this well. Right? I grew, like, again, we're both Asian, growing up in the Asian culture. In the Asian culture, they value education,
right?
Academics, technical skills, technical ability.
Right, definitely.
They you know, like mathematics, chemistry, physics,
coding,
like, you know, coding. Like that's what they value.
Law, the doctor, right?
Exactly. So that's what they value, and because we grew up in a culture that didn't value the communication skills, I feel like, especially in our culture, the inability to communicate effectively is enhanced. Like, it's greater. It's more of a problem, because as I travel around the US and I see all these different companies, there's barely ever any Asians in leadership positions. And communication is a problem for all cultures, but I'm just saying it was particularly hard for me. So to me, when I was a kid, I was very invisible.
Right.
My teachers never remembered my name. And it wasn't their fault. It's just I never was someone that was memorable.
Right.
I wasn't someone that stood out. I just kind of blended into the background because I barely spoke.
Right.
So growing up, I've always been so invisible. I was invisible to cool friends that I wanted to hang out with.
Right.
You know when they're picking for the sports team, you never get picked. and when you like a girl, she never notices you.
Yeah.
Because you never speak up and you're too scared to tell her you like her. So it just affected me in so many areas of my life, where I sum up by saying I was so invisible. And I just got so sick of it. And that's why I was drawn to magic. I'm not sure about you, but I was drawn to magic because when I learned magic, I was no longer invisible. People are like, oh, wow, you're amazing. I'm like, wow, really? I'm amazing? So to me, that's why I got into magic, is self-confidence. And I wanted to be visible. But as I got older, I started to realize that, no, it's not magic that makes me visible. It's not blonde hair.
Right.
It helps, but it's not that. It's your ability to communicate effectively. And my metaphor that I use all the time in my workshop, as you know, is music.
Right.
Your voice is an instrument. So if you're someone who plays the piano, and you play very quietly, and you play really badly, and you don't play it well, then people won't notice you as a musician.
Right. For sure.
You have to learn how to play the piano, some soft parts, but some loud parts, and you've got to learn how to play this instrument masterfully.
Right.
And when you do, people will notice you. You'll build an audience.
Right.
Your voice and life is the same thing. You have to go through life learning how to use your voice. You have to learn all the different intricacies. You have to learn the foundations to your voice. You have to learn how to play with your rate of speech, play with your volume, play with the melody in your voice, play with the emotions in your voice. And so there's so many elements to voice that I think is critical to learn, and a great place to start. There's a book by Roger Love called How to Set Your Voice Free. It's a great place to start.
Right.
And because that book is written by a musician who trains singers, and just understand that, I mean, especially if you're listening to this right now, understand that your voice is your personality.
Right.
And if people, you see the other cool kids or the other cool adults or the other colleagues of yours or people in your profession, when you see people gravitate towards a certain type of person and they go, wow, this person seems so charismatic, they're so enthusiastic, what they're complimenting is that person's voice, how that person is using their voice.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're introverted or extroverted. People always go, oh, but if I'm an introvert, what does that mean? What if I'm an extrovert? I'm like, listen, and you answer this for me.
Okay.
Does it impact how a pianist plays the piano whether they're an introvert or an extrovert? Does it have an impact on how they play the piano?
Don't think so.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't, because if you think about it,
They can really express what they're feeling with the music. Even they're introvert. You feel things as well. You just don't know how to express it with words.
exactly right. Because people tend to ask me that question, right? They go, "Oh, but I'm an introvert. This doesn't make sense."
Right.
And then some people say, "Oh, but I'm a woman. Should I be speaking like that?" I'm like, look, if you're a woman or a man, does it impact how you play the piano? No. If you're an introvert or an extrovert, does it impact how you play the piano? No. So when it comes to your voice, same answer. Introvert, extrovert, woman, man, doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't impact how you play the instrument. So don't use that as an excuse of, oh, it's not for me. No, it is. And if you don't learn how to use your voice to stand out, to use your voice to stand up for yourself, you'll continue to be invisible. Job opportunities won't see you. Love interests won't recognize you. And so many things in life will pass you by because you haven't learned how to use your instrument.
Right.
And I think it's just, that's why I've spent my life.
It's unfortunate when they don't know how to use it for the rest of their life.
Well, especially when you meet someone who has so much talent.
Right.
And I've met a lot of those people who have so much talent and gifts. I mean, how many people do we know that are magicians that are so much better than us?
Yeah.
Like, that's just so much better than us at magic,
For sure.
but don't have a successful career as a magician.
Yeah.
And it's because of what magicians call showmanship. And showmanship is a fancy word for communication skills, right?
Right.
So that's the thing that we relate to a lot.
Right.
Is we'll go to a magic convention and like these younger kids will do sleight of hand. We're like, oh man,
Yeah, they're insane.
oh man, I'm not gonna have a job next week.
Not human being.
But that's right. But then they never learn how to communicate well enough for the market to recognize their talent and their value.
Exactly. They don't perceive them as valuable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Communication enhances the perception of the value that you have. And too many people are underselling themselves in every career path. It's not
Right.
just magicians, doctors, finance, accounting, architects. Every career path, there's an opportunity for you to improve your communication, which enhances the way people perceive you and the value and the expertise you have.
Is it kind of like marketing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you have a product, which is you.
Yeah.
But if you suck at marketing,
That's
no
really
one will
good
ever know
analogy.
your product.
Yeah. No one ever know you.
Right. No one ever know you.
Yeah. That, absolutely right. Absolutely.
And marketing is a skill that you have to go to. You can go to school. You can learn from a book. You can actually learn it to perfect it. But you have to also constantly learn new things because the social media is always changing. So you also have to learn new ways to communicate with people because people are always changing now as well.
Yeah. Well, it's like what we're doing right now.
Right.
This is a new way of communicating, right?
For
You and
sure.
I are having a conversation, but we're documenting it so that
Yeah.
we can share it at a later point. But that's another way of communicating. Imagine Johnny and I right now, we're not very good at using our voice.
Yeah.
Imagine we're speaking quietly like this for like the last hour. You probably wouldn't listen to this.
You can't even hear.
Yeah, you can't even hear it, right? but that's the thing is that
Right.
that, and I love what you said. It's like your voice is marketing for you.
Right.
And you've got to learn it. And it's sad that I hope it changes in the future where university or high schools will start to put more of a focus. And think about this too. In high school, you have one opportunity a year to do a presentation.
Right.
And you probably get so nervous
So scared.
that you don't go to school that day. so the one day you have an opportunity to practice,
Right.
you don't even go.
Right.
And that was me. You know, like I was so nervous I didn't
That's
even
the
do
day that we always have diarrhea. I have
Yeah,
diarrhea. I
stomach
can't
ache.
go to school,
Yeah.
Mom. It's the milk.
it. Yeah, but that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So
Wow.
So I think that's why I realize what my purpose is in my life is I want to help people who are invisible become visible. I get so much satisfaction and fulfillment out of that. You know, like my recent virtual masterclass I just did.
Right.
There were a few people who were on the call, and I got a really beautiful email from one of my students named Corey. And he said, Vin, I used to use the excuse of being an introvert to not work on my communication skills. But I finally have realized now the importance of me allowing myself to shine. You know, a lot of people are scared to shine because they go, oh, if I'm shining, I'm taking up like too much brightness, and then other people can't shine.
Right.
But that's not true.
Right.
When you shine, you inspire other people to do the same. Whereas too many people think, oh, A, that I'm an introvert, using that as an excuse, or B, they go, oh, but I don't want to be too, I don't know, I feel bad for, really, yeah. So I think that's something to remember. But that's why I dedicated my life to teaching this. Right now, I give myself permission to do something else later if I want to.
Right.
But I think it's such a fulfilling thing to
And it's one
do.
of the most important things that anyone needs to learn. So if you're watching it until now, you probably really want to know about how Vin is able to communicate so well. You have a free course.
Yeah.
Right? We'll drop the link down below for people to be able to at least learn the foundation that Vin teach to like the top performers for a lot of amazing companies, and these are the foundations that Vin uses, that I uses, and you definitely be able to change how you use your voice. But it completely changed my life after I experienced what you've taught in the live workshop.
Well, just watching your growth over the last 3 years and how you present, that video you sent me of you presenting was amazing. It's just amazing to see your progress. Because I remember that I probably still have the links from the first videos you sent me as well.
I never posted that.
But it just goes to show that, like, again, slow progress is still progress.
Right, for sure.
And I got here extremely slowly. I mean, it wasn't overnight. It was over 6-7 years. And if I can do it from a culture that is known to be quite terrible at communication, you can do it too.
Yeah.
I think that's the important thing people have to realize, is that how you speak is a behavior. And another question I get people ask is, can you change the way you speak? And to me, the question I ask them back is, well, can you change your behavior? Yes, you can change your behavior. The way you speak is a behavior. So you can change the way you speak.
Right.
You absolutely can. If you're not happy with it, do something about it. Like some people get a haircut, don't like it, then don't get that haircut again. If you have a bad behavior and it doesn't bring you any positivity, then don't do that behavior anymore. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and that really helps if you hang out with the right type of people.
Well, think about it, right? You have to match my energy almost.
Yeah.
Imagine I was speaking like this, and you can't speak at a lower energy.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't harmonize.
It doesn't harmonize.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So Johnny is really right in that advice, in that spend time with people who are good communicators, learn the foundations from the free online course, and then that will help you slowly improve. Day by day, bit by bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
So one last question is like, after you climb down the mountain, I think everyone that's been following your journey wants to know, like, what's next for you? You're going back to Australia, which me and my wife and Harmony, we're really sad that you guys are going to go
we're
back.
Sad too, man. We're sad too.
But I know you guys are going back for a better cause, right? For you guys to find true happiness.
Yeah.
So, and spend time with family. Actually, you can renovate your kitchen, pay with
we're
happy.
Yeah.
I mean, well, let us visit you guys.
Yeah,
Even if you
for
say
sure.
no, we still will come. I know your address.
We're not gonna say no, man. Of course.
But yeah. So what's next for you now?
My next chapter to me is about. I'm gonna speak. I went from speaking at like 70, 80 events a year. I'm more likely going to be doing 5 to 10 a year. And with all the other
drastic change.
But all the other time that I have, I want to explore something new. Like, I want to explore something fun. I love doing this. I love talking to you.
Yeah.
I love talking to my friends. So I want to do a podcast for fun. I don't want to do a podcast to think about, don't have to monetize or anything. I just want to have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
A big part of my next chapter is have a bit more fun and live more. Go camping. I love camping.
Yeah.
And then
I love that side of you, man.
Yeah.
Because I hardly see that side of you before.
Well, because I didn't spend time with the right people.
Yeah.
I didn't spend time with people who had fun. All the people I spent time with was, they valued different things. They valued things that I didn't truly value. But because I was inspired by them, their values became my values.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I never valued having like a multi-million-dollar car or anything. I never valued those things. But because of the people I'm inspired by value that, I thought I should value that too.
For sure.
So then so to me, my next chapter is have more courage to just be who I want to be, instead of trying to be other people. So to me, it's have fun. It's be a better dad, be a better husband, be a better friend. and teach. I want to teach more. I want to teach people more. I want to teach communication more. I want to help more people become visible and like Rihanna says, shine bright like a diamond.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So everything that Vin does and whatever he's teaching, all of his teaching, like truly inspire me and transform my entire life. So 2016 has been 4 years.
Man, that's crazy.
Dude, this 4 years, it was this man that transformed all my mindset, my ideas, everything. So, but also watching you going up and down, up and down, up and down, it's like a roller coaster. Your life it's
tiring.
It's a complete roller coaster. But it opened my eyes on how important family is as well.
But Johnny, I think that's something you've always done well. I have to say, I think you've always done that very well. I really admire you with that. I think you've done it very well.
Another thing is his wife is amazing. His wife takes care of everything in the house. He doesn't have to worry about anything. So hence why, so props to Pei Wen as well. She does such a great job.
I think behind every great entrepreneur, whether it's a man or a woman, you often will find an incredible partner.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is a video that I know if you have seen my videos, it's all about magic performances and me performing like different magic to celebrities. However, we've reached a place where we want to do something that's more meaningful and teach people things that actually transform your life, and not just for entertainment purposes. Right? Well, that 1 hour of you watching me performing magic, it's amazing. However, after you go home, your life goes back to the exact same thing, right? The same way how it is. So from this point on, I definitely want to teach just a little bit of what Vin teaches, but however, from what I've learned, from what I've accumulated, I think it will be really amazing for you to learn just a little bit of communication skills. And if you really want to learn the full picture, how to do it, like this is definitely the guy. Like this is the master. I learned everything from him. So thank you so much for hopping in and just talk about our stories, our experience. Dude, 4 years just go by like that.
That's so fast. And now we're both dads.
Right?
The next time we do this, we'll be grandparents.
That's way too long.
And you click again, and we're back here. We just
the gray silver hair.
Yeah, no, but Johnny, it's been an amazing 4 years. It's been an amazing opportunity to get to know you as a friend and as a brother. And even though I'm not going to be here physically, it's that you've become such a important part of my family's life. I'm never going to forget you, brother. So I love you, man. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Yeah, much love, man. And you'll always be in our hearts, man. And you have to fly and come see us. Don't make me cry too, all right? But yeah, man, we feel very lucky to have met you and your wife.
Same here, man.
Yeah, man, we feel very lucky. It's
we
don't have many friends here. And you both are one of the very few friends we have, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for us right now with the coronavirus, we don't know what's in the future for us anymore.
Yeah.
And he was always there for me, to ask me like, what do I want to do in the future?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? I don't have anyone that will ask me that kind of questions, so.
Yeah.
It's just hard that.
Yeah, hey. Always a phone call away, brother.
Oh, I'm glad that you're not that busy anymore.
Yeah, man, I'm going to be unemployed too.
Well, you're your own boss, right?
Yeah, but look,
I want to be there for anything that you support.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey,
anything that you believe, and if you ever need us.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. We'll fly over just like that as well.
Yeah, yeah, man, and same with you.
But
you always have a place in our hearts, and you have a place by our side, brother. Yeah, thanks, man. You're a good guy, man. I'm so glad we got to do this and capture this memory.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to show this part. But
yeah,
I'm just so grateful.
Yeah,
that you let us into your life.
Oh man, of course. I
You
mean,
know, you don't let anyone into your life anymore.
I
Like,
don't,
We're
yeah.
one of the last ones,
yeah, well,
right?
and it's not because I don't let people in my life because I'm trying to be nasty,
No,
but it's
for
because
sure not.
I only have so much time,
I know.
and
Yeah.
it's like,
I've met so many people that
Yeah.
want to be.
well, because
in
you've
a
been to my
circle.
workshop. Because you've been to my workshop.
Yeah.
People who come to my workshop are kind of they're cult, they're like cult members now. But I'm very strict with who I let in, because you've seen the impact we have, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the impact we have on each other within 2 days. You sleep at my house and
Yeah.
you influence me like crazy, right? So,
Yeah.
so to me, I'm so protective of that. Yeah, I'm so protective of that. And yeah, man, we
But
never
yeah.
had a moment where we regretted that we became good friends.
Oh,
You know, we-
never.
Yeah.
Never. So thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
worries, brother.
It's a new beginning for you. Super excited
Yeah.
for you, and hopefully it'll be a new beginning for us as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait till our kids grow up to at least like 6, 7 years old, where they're like
Yeah.
little adults,
Yeah.
and then they can actually like.
We got so many videos of them, you know, on our phones, and I'm gonna
Oh,
make sure we
for
store them
sure.
up and show them. I mean, Harmony is Xander's first real friend.
Yeah,
You know, I think that's beautiful.
they're so cute, man.
Yeah.
You're
man.
so cute. Well, guys, if you enjoy this, please like this video. Please follow his social media. Okay, Vin's social medias, I'll post it all down in the link below.
Yeah.
Go and learn from his free course as well. It's definitely going to change your life. And please, thank you guys so much for all your support. Although the coronavirus is happening, but I'm gonna give away probably $5,000 when we hit 50,000 subscribers. I think this is not money that I made from YouTube. I don't make any money from YouTube, but there's just so many people that will probably benefit from this. So I'm not just only gonna give it to one person, but maybe for like 10 people or 20 people to kind of just spread this love to everyone. So thank you all for your support as well. You helped this channel grow so fast,
Yeah, it's crazy.
right? And I never thought that I'll be able to just to share my message just through a video like this, and people watch
Keep it simple.
Yeah, and now I've shown you, you know, something really, really personal in my life. So hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Can you say that and tell them to follow?
Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, I'll find you.
All right, take care, man. Peace.